Welcome everybody to the VR Game Rankings YouTube channel. I'm your host Anthony, and this is the daily vlog series. It's Tuesday, it's April 10th. This is episode 136 of the show, and we like to start things off with quick hitters. And quick hitter number one, DadVR. So what the heck is DadVR? Well, earlier this morning, I was on the Oculus Rift subreddit. I was looking for news stories for the show today, and I saw something called DadVR. It was the #1 thread on the subreddit. I clicked on it, and oh my goodness, I saw the most precious, adorable video I've seen in quite some time. It's basically a dad. He's holding his little baby Bambino in front of a TV set with a roller coaster video on there, and he's rumbling and jumbling his little baby. He's tilting him from side to side. He's basically a human version of VR, and I just thought this video was absolutely adorable, incredibly cute, just a wonderful little video to start the show off. Now, let's go ahead and get into quick hitter number two. Quick hitter number two, we have 3 different PlayStation VR games that are launching today. Of course, Rick and Morty Virtual Reality. This is a big time release, folks. It's coming to us from Alchemy Labs. We're talking about the developers of Job Simulator. This game is going for $29.99. Now, should you run out there and pick this game up right away? Well, it really depends. Are you a big fan of Job Simulator, or are you a big fan of Rick and Morty? If you're a really big fan of either, you're probably going to really like this. And if you're a big fan of both, you're really going to like this. Now, if you're not that big of a fan of either one, I would probably say maybe pass on this. Wait for a price drop, because the $30 price, not exactly the cheapest thing in the world. Now, another game that is releasing today, Carnage by Wells Interactive. This is the developer of Don't Knock Twice. This is going for $19.99, although PlayStation Plus members can pick this up for $15.99. Now, I'm going to have my thoughts on Carnage at the end of this video, so go ahead and stay tuned for that. And then the last game that's coming to PlayStation VR today is Super Amazeballs. This is coming from Brain Cells Productions. Now, on Steam, this game is $10, but for PSVR owners, you can pick this baby up for a mere $5. Not a bad deal. Now, let's go ahead and get into our first featured story of the day, and the first featured story is the Joint Photographic Experts Group, otherwise known as JPEG, has a brand new format called JPEG XS. So what exactly is JPEG XS? This is a new lower energy compression solution which will allow high quality images to be streamed at low latency over broadband networks. Now, what exactly does that mean? Well, the translation works like this. Basically, later this year, we are going to see our first rollout of 5G networks across the United States and in many other countries worldwide. Now, what exactly is this 5G thing, and why is it such a revolution for virtual reality? Well, the big deal is volumetric video and digital light fields. We are talking about terabytes upon terabytes of information. Now, how do you get all that information to these VR headsets? If you were to download it, it would take literally forever. But what about streaming? That is where this new compression technique comes in, because with JPEG XS having compression capabilities of 6:1 potentially, being able to handle up to 8K video from 24 frames up to 120 frames, basically we're talking about low latency streaming capabilities over these 5G networks, and we can get this digital light field information, this volumetric video, right into your VR headsets. Now, one of the downsides is the VR headsets are going to have to support this natively, and as far as I'm aware, none of the currently available headsets do support this, so we're probably going to need some new headsets down the line, but this is definitely something to keep our eyes on. Let's go ahead and get into featured story number 2. Is the Uncanny Valley about to get a lot less uncanny? Or maybe even more so. Well, this basically goes back to a demo that Epic Games had a couple of weeks ago. Now, somehow I completely missed out on this demo and I didn't see any footage of this or hear anything about it. However, I saw it recently and it's pretty freaking mind-blowing. Basically, Epic Games got involved with 4 other companies, 3 Lateral, Cubic Motion, Tencent, and Vicon. They all collaborated with Epic Games and Chinese actress Bing Yi Yang. And basically what they did here with this demo is they gave you an example of live human digital capture, and what this could mean for the future of VR gaming is tremendous. I was in a thread not too long ago on Reddit. Everyone was talking about killer apps and what we need for a killer app, and there was one guy in there who was talking about he thinks it's going to be digital characters in VR. Lifelike digital characters in VR are going to be a game changer, and you know what? I couldn't agree more. Just take Olivia from Lone Echo. I'll never forget the very first time I was in Lone Echo interacting with Olivia. I felt like I was right there with a legitimate human character. But imagine if Olivia had the expressiveness, had the detail and the graphical fidelity of this Siren demo. Oh my God, it would be literally mind-blowing. It would be earth-shattering. And so guys, think about how good VR gaming is going to get in the next 5 to 10 years when we're going to have digital characters that look as good as this Siren demo in VR. It is going to be absolutely spectacular. Okay, let's get to the final featured story of the day. The final featured story of the day is my first impressions on Time Carnage for PlayStation VR. Now, this game is coming to us from Wales Interactive. This is the developer of Don't Knock Twice. And you know what? The bottom line here, folks, this is a wavy-ass wave shooter. We've got a million of these things. We've got them coming out of our ears. However, that doesn't mean that this game can't have some redeemable qualities or possibly a new and interesting spin on the genre, and Time Carnage actually does feature this. We are lucky in that regard. So what is this unique and interesting spin? Well, basically, like I was saying, you do travel through time. That is what this game is all about. It is a little bit similar to Time Cop in that regard. However, it's not just your individual human body that is transporting through time. You are standing on this circular platform, and it's the circular platform that is actually transporting through time. Now, when you get to these different time locales and all these different creatures start attacking you, when they get close to you, they actually come into contact with a shield that is surrounding this circular platform. And so they're not actually damaging you, they're damaging your shields that exist on this platform. Now, if they damage your shields too much, it is game over. Now, the other thing about this circular platform is there are 4 pedestals that are located around this circular platform, and you could put weapons on each one of these 4 pedestals, and it's the reloading mechanic that is the real star of this game. So basically, you're going to grab 2 weapons and you're going to be blasting these baddies. Now, the baddies that come at you, they're relatively mediocre. They aren't the most interesting creatures I've ever seen, and your guns are a little bit of the pea shooter variety. They don't have the visceral force of something like Arctica 1, but the reloading mechanic is very interesting and very unique. So the way it works is you grab 2 guns, you start shooting them. Now the guns will eventually run out of ammo. What do? Well, you got to put them back on the pedestals that you took them from, and then they will start to reload. Now remember, there's 4 pedestals, so there's 2 other guns available. So you're putting 2 guns back, you're grabbing 2 guns, and that's basically the real mechanic of this game. That is the real star of this game, because you're going to realize you might want to grab 2 machine guns. Oh no, you want to put them back. Now you want to grab a pistol and a shotgun. You're going to have to play around with it for a while, and these enemies are coming at you. You're going to have to think quickly. You're going to have to think fast. I actually really liked this gun loading mechanic of Time Carnage. Now, is it worth the $19.99 price? I don't know. I honestly wish this game was a little bit cheaper. I think if its standard price was $14.99. I could pretty much recommend it wholeheartedly. At $19.99, it's a little bit more expensive. You got to think about, do you really need another wave shooter? But if you're looking for another wave shooter, not a bad game. Definitely give it a try. Check it out. But anyway, folks, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up for this episode of the VR Game Rankings Daily Vlog series. Of course, it was Tuesday, April 10th. This was episode 136, and I will see everybody tomorrow. Take it easy. Later.